In this lecture, I will demonstrate that is how to manage the columns in Origin software. So, at first you have to open some data file, or you have to just type some data in these columns. I have already introduced you, that is, this one is the X column, that means X values will be there in this particular column. This one is the Y column, that means corresponding Y values for each of the X values will be there. Either you have to type it manually, or you have to import with the single ASCII option. This one is the import single ASCII option. You have to import your data in this particular workbook. After importing the data, you can change the data according to your need. So again I am saying that is these are your X values and these are your Y values. Now often we have to plot the data with the help of some function, that is we cannot directly plot the X data and Y data. I can give you some example. Suppose from any source, it may be some laboratory experiment or some other type of source. So you have collected some XY values. So these are the X values, these are the Y values. However, uh, you can plot the X versus Y data, that is in the horizontal axis there will be X values, and in the vertical Y axis corresponds to Y values. That means you can directly plot the XY values, but in some cases you may need to plot the data by incorporating some functions. For example, suppose for this particular data, instead of plotting just the X and Y values, you have to plot suppose log X versus log Y. So this is one of the example. So suppose instead of plotting directly X and Y values in the graph, you have to plot log X, logarithm of X versus logarithm of Y. Then how you can do it? So at first you have to either write the X and Y values manually in this workbook, or you have to import the data where you have saved. Suppose you have saved your data in some folder, then you have to import the data with this import single ASCII option. So these are your data, and you want to change the data by employing logarithmic function. That means suppose this one is column A, and you have to change all the X values as log X, all the X values, not a particular single or something. All the X values I want to convert it as log X. So how to do that? So at first you have to select this. How to select? You just put your mouse cursor here in the position AX, then select it. After selecting, right click, then set column values. So after setting, after this window will appear, then what you have to do, if I want to convert the data as log of X, then you see in this particular window it has been written column A equal to. That means how I can change the column A? I can change the column A according to my need. So in this particular case, I will change the column A equal to log of. So at first I will write log, then I am clicking in this position, then it is showing column A and column B option. I am choosing column A. So this is log column A, and it is better to give another bracket over here, log column A. Then OK. So you see that the column values have been changed. So in this way I can change the column value. Similarly, suppose for the y column also I want to change all the values as log of column B. Log of column B means every values in the y column will be changed to their logarithmic values. So again I will select B column. So I am putting the mouse cursor here, then right click, then again set column values. Now I will again write, that is you see here column B equal to mean that is how the column value will be changed. So column B equal to again log of, then I will click here. I can also type column B also, COL and in bracket B. I can type it also from the keyboard, or otherwise you just put the mouse cursor here, click here, then column B will appear. So column B, and I am giving a bracket over here, log of column B. Now you have to click OK. So in this way I have converted all the data in their logarithmic values. However, you can use any type of function. So let me show you. Suppose I am again selecting column A, and after right clicking, then set column values, you see that there is a function fx. So there is a function fx. So if we click on fx means this is functions. Different functions are there. For example, math function. In math function you see a huge number of functions are there. Absolute x means absolute value of the x. So a cos x, means cos inverse x, a cos age x means cos hyperbolic x. Similarly, different types of functions are there. These are the trigonometric function. Then if you use statistics function, so these are the maximum, mean, median. So different types of functions are there, and you can use any function. You can use exponential function. Suppose this one is column B. So I want to find the exponential values of the column B. So suppose I want to plot, that is x values versus exponential of y values. So suppose these are the current y values, and you want to consider exponential values of the y values. So for that purpose you can write exp exponential function, then column B, and I have to use a bracket, then apply, then OK. So you see that now the values have been changed. So these are the exponential values. So in this way you can manage the values of the columns according to your need. You can also insert any column after column B. Suppose you want to insert another column, then you have to press this icon, you see add new columns, this option. So let me click this one. So this is C axis. Now suppose you want to calculate, that is column C will be column A plus something into column B. In this way you can you want to change. So again right click on the column C, then set column values. So you see the column C equal to, so this appears. So column C equal to, suppose I am writing in this way, that is column A plus 100 into, for into you have to use asterisk symbol from the keyboard, 100 into column B, then OK. So it will calculate the values. So So in this way you can insert any column. In that column, if you want to calculate the values, then you can use any formula like this. So here actually what happened, that is I have typed that is column C is equal to column A plus 100 into column B. That means column A means for each of the row, this formula will be applied. That is for example for the first row, column A means 1.79818 plus column B into 100. Column B means this value into 100. So that will be equal to the 1.81. So this formula will be applied for each of the rows in these columns. So in this way you can manage the values, your values in this particular column. So I hope you have understood it, and I also thank you for listening this lecture.